Alright, quick update on spell tokens. So in the very short term, we have broken out of the top of this bearish pennant, which is, a good sign. This could potentially be a short-term bottoming signal, but if we do look at a more mid to macro term, you can still see that we do have some pretty bearish targets of these bear flags that we've got. We've been putting in basically bear flag after bear flag after bear flag falling off the table. The macro trend, if I do flatten this, you can still see the macro trend is still very much bearish. We do have a very long way to go before we can start potentially assuming that this would be the bottom of this pattern over here. So I'm going to mark a few regions where I think we could potentially get stuck at and where I think we would need to break above before personally I get bullish. Now, starting off, we've got this big red rectangular box. Now I literally just put this in just before I made this video because I gave the macro market a little look over to make this video a little bit quicker. So what I can see is we do have some resistance coming in. First resistance would be the top of this wick. Once we do break the 405, we would also need to break the 4415, which is this previous wick that we've got down here. Once we break that, we do have a micro fib that I'll need to remove because it has been invalidated, so there is nothing to see there. I don't see any point in drawing any micro fibs on these levels down here either. It does just seem like a waste of time in my opinion, but if we draw from the top of this micro downtrend to here, you can also see the 618 lines up pretty nicely. And to be fair, once we break up with the point, once we break above the 0.5, we would be heading straight for this red box. So this is the level that I'm looking at. This is the #1 level of importance that I think we need to break above. So let me mark that down. So this is the #1 level that we need to break before I become bullish. While we are below the 0.006125, I'm still bearish in the short term because, from that level, that is where we initiated the pull of the bear flag. We also have the previous wick down here, and, we have been stair-stepping down. I don't think there would be a linear trend to kind of define the lows, but you can see something like this where we are just sweeping the lows constantly and moving down. We haven't moved above any of these previous lows, so the first low, like I said, would be broken once we broke above the top of this rectangle box. Once we have broken above here, we're short-term bullish, but still macro term has not changed for me until we do break 614, which is, it's a fairly decent increase from where we are now, probably like a 2x, but do bear in mind the market cap of this is so dirt cheap that I would be happy to miss out on the first 2x. Not even a 2x, it's a 69% increase, so I'd be more than happy to miss out on a 69% increase, allow this to break all the way up here, come down, retest, and once we did that, I would be longing if we did hold this as support. I wouldn't just be dollar cost averaging in right now because we have been falling off the table for a very long time, and the macro trend is still bearish, so while, I do think this could potentially be the bottom for a number of reasons. I mean, we have been getting beat down for a while. Bitcoin has finally broke back above the 41.5, so the markets are very bullish right now. My #1 concern is there's no volume coming in for Spell at all. It doesn't seem like too many people are bothered or too many people are buying, or at least the average retail trader is not buying this right now. So like I said, for me to get bullish, all of these levels need to break. There's no other way of sugarcoating it. I don't want to beat around the bush. This level up here needs to break. Until 6.6 or 6.1 whatever needs to break, all the way up here, 6.1075. Once that breaks, I can be a lot more bullish and I'd be a lot more happy to accumulate in the short term. But do bear in mind as well, in the very short term, we've only had a wick above this so far. We can still come down and break back into this pennant like we have done previously. We've had massive wicks breaking out of this pennant and we have crashed back into it. So in the short term, keep an eye out for these targets. They are, a fairly decent increase from where we are now, 10%, 21%, and then obviously 69% respectively. But until we do start breaking those levels, I will not just be buying this for no reason. So that is all I see for Abracadabra spell token. Once again, none of this is financial advice. If you are holding it, best of luck, and yeah, cowboy out. Peace.